There's so many organically similar things about people who've served in the military and wild horses. They were both basically owned by our government at one point in time. You know, when you sign up to go into the military, you don't have a choice of where you're sent in the country or out of the country. You don't get to decide your life for the time that you're in there. Well, for our wild horses who are on Bureau of Land Management land, once they're rounded up, they also don't get a decision on where they're going to be sent in the country and what the rest of their life is going to be like. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of back and forth with what's the right thing to do for wild Mustangs, you know, what the appropriate management level is for the herds out on the range and why and how they have to do roundups to keep them at an appropriate management level. For us, it's making sure that once they come into our program that they are doing something that's amazing with their lives that made them being rounded up worthwhile. A lot of the time we get veterans who come in here and they've been through something and they don't feel like anybody else in their life can relate to it. I'm here to give the veterans in active duty military a place where they can come in and they can talk to other people who understand what they've been through. It's my place to give them space to let that healing happen. And I think it's such a unique opportunity to take two great pieces of our American history and put them together and just make a difference for both of them. Normally, the first time a veteran comes out, it's just kind of a get-to-know-you type of session. And very often, the Mustangs will actually pick their person.
I think they are unique, the Mustangs, in the sense that they have generations and generations of living together in a family unit and developing those bonds. So I think in some way that's a little bit removed from domestic horses' psyche, but it's still very fresh in the Mustang's mind. So they look for that bond with you. And when it happens, you feel it.
The women veteran experience is so different from what a male veteran's experience is in the military. Women veterans need places to go and the support for their time in service as well.
When I joined the Air Force, I was 24, almost 25. I joined the military because I wanted to see the world. My job in the Air Force was information technology. I was right at the beginning of computers and things like that. I put in for special orders and I was lucky enough to get chosen to go to Belgium. And I got assigned at the Supreme Headquarters Allied Powers Europe, also known as SHAPE. And there I got to work in more of a security realm. And I was the first female to be assigned to that office. Our officer in charge was a Royal Air Force British lieutenant, and he basically said to me, "We tried to get your orders stopped. We didn't want a female in this office, but the Americans sent you anyway." As women, we're often just considered, you can't do the job, you're only a distraction, we're gonna have to pull the weight for you.
These guys, well, she's not out in the shop, so that means she's not working. If she's not physically working, she's not doing work.
You give up, and I got out when I probably wanted to stay in, but I recognized I wasn't gonna go as far as I wanted to go. You probably lose a lot of people that way in the military.
As a female veteran, if I'm with a guy of some sort, whether it's my brother or my father or a significant other, it's always expected that they were the veteran. It's easy enough to just correct somebody, and it seems like our society always feels really bad if they say that, but it would be nice if they just saw me.
We had a Saturday camp here that we invited all veterans to come out to, and one of our female veterans was like, I'm not 100% comfortable coming out to that camp because my experience was so different.
I told her, what we're really lacking is, women's groups for us to get together. I mean, for me, unfortunately, a lot of the PTSD and experiences that I have came from, unfortunately, other vets and male vets, and it's from our own brothers. These are the guys we're supposed to trust. So she's like, well, let's do it. Let's make a women's group. I'm like, really? But Patty, she doesn't hold back. She's like, if that's a need, let's fill that hole. If someone's coming in and having problems, we might not ride. We might just talk to her and get her through whatever's going on. We're here to support each other, and that's a really, really great feeling.
When you get to be around other women and you start to tell your story, there's a lot of validation that comes from that, because then you're recognizing that there are other women, certainly other women in the military, that have experienced the same things, and you don't feel so much of an outcast.
I hope all the women feel the same as I do, that I'm so grateful for having found this group. I feel like I could trust them with anything, honestly. If I ever needed anything, I feel like they would be there, no questions asked.
It's filled a hole for me that is very special, and it's allowed me to continue my service. You can take as much from Operation Wild Horse as you want. You can just come out here and just get away from your day if you're having a bad day. Or you can learn how to actually ride Western dressage. It's just become part of my life and my soul. Horses are part of me now, and they always will be.
You can't have a bad day when you're hanging out with horses and burros.
Something about a burro, you want to laugh, you want to smile, hug a burro, that will make your day. They're just fun. I light up thinking about them, they're hilarious.
I'm protective of this program. Every one of these horses they're my babies, and I want to see the growth in them as well as the growth in the men and women that come through our gates.
When I first started riding Bingo, it was a lot of not really knowing what his buttons were, what to ask him or how to ask him to do things. It's really my issue, understanding him and asking him in the correct way to do things. It's like we're partners dancing.
The first time I got here, you're just kind of walking down the line looking at the horses, and instantly it was like I looked at Jelly and he had like this response, and it was like an instant pairing almost. He's nuzzling me and he was like giving me hugs, and he's a giant horse. And it was like one of those moments where he sensed I needed something, and he gave me a hug. And I didn't ask for it, he just gave it to me. This is an animal who saw me in a moment that I needed to be seen. So that's the importance of being part of an organization like this and interacting with animals, because we don't talk to them, we just feel with them.
We owe everything to the men and women in our military and to be here every day and to try and give 100% back to them. It's the greatest gift.